All right, Julio, come on up. And you have some friends and family here
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Would you like to introduce them?
My brother Vincent, his wife Sedelia, partner Robert, his good friend Dan Underwood, and Renee Locke, my director.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine everybody in this room is here to support and celebrate you. 44 years. That is amazing. That is amazing. So, Julio, stand on the X. Yes. So it wasn't too long ago, again in May, that we were celebrating, to his great surprise, that Julio had been selected as our Employee of the Year. It was wonderful to see the shock on his face. If you've known Julio, he also is a very humble, low-profile guy, works incredibly hard, is amazingly compassionate with his patients, and his colleagues, his peers absolutely adore him, are inspired by him. But to be able to honor you that night, just before you were getting ready to retire. So tonight, sadly, but we're very happy for you as well, that we honor and celebrate your retirement. So I think I might be reading the same thing that I read that night, but I want to say every word of it again. And I think there's many people in the room that didn't get to hear it that night. But it's just a wonderful story, your journey with Kauai that started 44 years ago. And so everybody sit back and enjoy hearing about your friend and partner and colleague. And so Julio Sanchez has been with Kauai Health for 44 years and started as a teenage orderly in X-ray. Julio attended the College of Sequoia's nursing program and started his BSN at Fresno State. He has been an RN for over 35 years. Julio is the backbone of the Sequoia Regional Cancer Center and inspires his coworkers to be world-class every single day. Patients and their families come to SRCC at one of the lowest and scariest times of their lives. They are fearful, sad, tearful, and most of the times their heads are down and they feel lost. Julio sees these fragile patients in their nursing consult. He listens to them, he educates them, and most importantly, he encourages them. He gives them hope and empowers them to go forward with their cancer treatments. They leave the center heads high and ready to face the challenge that is in front of them. He has a way about him that just makes patients and their families feel better. Julio is a constant advocate for improvements within the department. He is a problem solver and is vigilant in keeping our patient education and discharge literature up to date. He is concerned about delays in treatments, and he works closely with physician offices to ensure that patients start their treatment in a timely manner. He will advocate for patients and escalate issues to assure they are seen. Julio will jump through hoops for our patients. One example that a coworker shared was that they had a very ill patient with a brain tumor who needed to take oral steroids to counteract the swelling in her brain. The steroids were preventing her from sleeping, and both she and her family were miserable and exhausted. Julio had to step in and call 4 different pharmacies. 5? Is that?
I remember that. I remember.
To help get her the medication that the doctor had ordered. Julio is a role model and an ambassador for Kauai Health. Community members often approach him outside of work and thank him for the service he provided at SRCC. They thank him for taking care of their wife, husband, dad, mom, brother, sister, or themselves. They thank him for his kindness, compassion, care, and humor that led them through one of the biggest challenges in their lives. He has a way about him that creates a safe space for patients as they experience and navigate their life-changing cancer diagnosis. Julio is always thinking of ways to make things better at SRCC. One example would be that they use very expensive laryngoscopes in the department for their head and neck cancer patients. They were constantly getting damaged in the transportation process from SRCC to the hospital. Julio researched and found protective cases for the scopes. The manager found the funds, and they are now able to have working scopes when their head and neck patients come in, and there is no delay in care. Julio is always professional. He comes to work ready to work. He is clean and neat, on time, never grumpy. Is that true? Never grumpy? Okay. Always says good morning, truly representing Kauai Care to everyone. He manages up all staff and encourages them with kindness, humor, and wisdom. He attends the leadership meetings, staff meetings, and operational meetings. His input, wisdom, and nursing knowledge help form the vision at SRCC. Outside of Kauai Health, Julio has been on the board of our local Oncology Nurses Society chapter for many years. The Oncology Nursing Society is a professional organization that represents over 100,000 nurses. He has served as president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and program liaison for the ONS. He is always encouraging new nurses in the field of oncology by attendance at the chapter, state, and national meetings and helping to promote the nursing profession. He is an amazing mentor to others in nursing and radiation therapy. Julio also volunteers his time with Family Services of Tulare County and Family Crisis in Porterville. He is active in their fundraising efforts that support families in our community. He assists with events, makes phone calls, and contributes his time to raise money to help our needy families in the community. Julio is someone the entire team of professionals in radiation oncology look up to for questions regarding cancer care. He is highly respected by physicians, colleagues, and our patients, and is mentioned often on patient satisfaction surveys, with some saying they were very happy to be cancer-free, but were going to miss their wonderful nurse, Julio, and the team. Julio, I think that says it best. We're happy to see you moving into your next chapter of retirement, but we are going to miss you tremendously. And just having read this and everything you've done, the impact you've made, you are going to leave an enormous void. I do hope the next Julio comes along, you know. But
Her name is Shelby.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you are one of a kind. I've known you my whole career here. And
right,
yeah, I have, yeah. And I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you. And I used to actually be responsible for as the executive sponsorship of SRCC. And so I had a lot more opportunity to interact with you back then. But you're a wonderful individual. You are a shining ambassador for Kauai Health and an example of everything that's good about our organization. You truly exemplify Kauai Care every single day, and we're going to miss you. But we hope you're not a stranger. I don't know if you're staying around in Visalia.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you will always be a part of the Kauai Health family, and we would welcome you anytime. So thank you.
Thank you.
So on behalf of, again, the organization, the board of directors, our 5,000 employees, Lynn would like to present you with this.
If it wasn't for this lady.
I know.
Oh, I remember so well when you started nursing school. And how come you still look the same? And I don't. Julio, you're the epitome of what we hope a COS nurse will be. Thank you for all you've done. We will miss you unbelievably, but we'll keep thinking about you, so come back and visit.
Thank you so much.
I have to have another hug.